Do men like tomboy women?
To most men, feminine qualities are attractive. So I'd say that most likely the guys who are seduced by you are not seduced because you're a tomboy, but because of your feminine qualities that you display alongside this part of you. They're attracted despite you being a tomboy, not because of it. Just imagine the reverse. How attracted would you be to a guy that is effeminate? I guess he would still need to have at least some masculine traits to make you interested: charisma, career, leader, physically impressive, etc. You see my point? Usually, masculine is attracted to feminine and feminine is attracted to masculine. There can be exceptions, but it's still just exceptions. So no, men don't like tomboys, but they can like feminine women who happen to have a tomboy trait within their personality. When I say masculine/feminine here, I'm talking about Subtle's way of behaving and personality traits, not the cliches. Just wearing high heels and makeup all the time is not what a feminine woman is about.
If they are pleasant, they are attractive. If they are obnoxious, then they aren't attractive. Pretty much goes for all women.
Think again, darling. Reddit assure me I'm not such a freak like I thought I was.
I'm a woman, but IMO guys can like your tomboy side too if that's their style.
Generally speaking, there will always be a community of guys that are really attracted to you.
Plenty of men do like women like that. I know that I don't mind that whatsoever. It just really depends on the guy. Pretty much every guy I know doesn't specifically look for a woman who exclusively dresses like a stereotypical woman would. I don't think you'll much trouble finding a man.
Like others have said, there are men who like women with significant masculine traits. It's my personal preference. However, most men will be more attracted to feminine traits. This isn't any kind of deal breaker, it just means you're going to have a smaller dating pool, especially for longer term relationships. There are 3 types of men who are usually attracted to tomboys. 1. Men who hate high maintenance women and are willing to give up some feminine traits in a mate in exchange for the woman being much less needy. 2. Men who have significant feminine traits themselves and are looking for a partner to complement them. The usual problem here is more but not all masculine women usually don't find feminine men especially attractive. 3. Open-minded men who appreciate unusual characteristics in other people.
I'm petite and cutesy, but I'm not curvy. We are all different, so don't be so focused on the typical downsides. When I think of men I like, they don't all have to be a Chris Evans or Brad Pitt for me to be attracted to them.
Tomboys have a big problem with balance. They tend to push it too far. Tomboys attract effeminate men. Masculine men want a feminine woman and push away masculine women, while effeminate men are looking for a new mama to tell them what to do, so gravitate toward masculine women who will give them direction and complete them, or so they think. And GT, but both of them weren't being communicative at the end, and it's a big no-no for me. You're asking them to be feminine and to communicate like a woman. Masculinity communicates by actions rather than words. Since you say happened at the end, then it implies they were either effeminate men who were already dominated by that point and broken, or they were masculine men who had by that point had enough and were tuning out.
Wanted to add a second post expressing my experiences rather than answering the actual question like I did in the other post. I've known several tomboys. All of them are into what can be considered extreme sports. They are all very physically fit and just plain hot for the most part. They all have been divorced and are single mothers, some multiple times. All of them have an extremely hard time finding a guy, while at the same time most of the guys around them all would want them, but they don't want these guys. In fact, they all spent most of their time around guys, while at the same time claiming they can't find any guys. All of the relationships last about a year or less. In some cases they would get back together with a previous guy, but each time the relationship is shorter than the previous attempt. There are 2 exceptions. There were 2 that were successful. Both of these 2 are also into what can be considered extreme sports. In one of them it took a really long time to get married. She told him she didn't want to get too serious. He agreed and would date other women while she dated other men. But she kept going to his place all the time till he told her she could not come over to that extreme amount because he would not be able to bring the other women he would date to his place if she kept popping up unexpectedly. She would have to make plans to see him just as the other women did. A short time later she came to him and said that he would have to drop the other woman because she wanted them to be exclusive. In other words, now she did want to be serious. He agreed. They eventually got married. As far as I know, they're still doing great. It worked because he was way more masculine than she was. By comparison, she appeared very, very feminine relative to him, even though she seemed masculine compared to all other guys. Her husband leads the family, he runs the show, makes all big decisions while still being perfectly happy to take input and ideas from her. She absolutely loves it and is a ride or die chick with him. The other one was already married when I met her. She seems masculine, of course, even though physically very feminine. Okay, she was just plain hot, let's just get that out there. It has been years, and they are still doing fine. He is into the same sports as her, but only partakes in it with other guys who are practically professional grade. She can't keep up with him, and often gets hurt trying, but they still do it together. Most all of her friends are guys and are in the same sport, but more at her level. Every one of them would want her if they could get her, but she has no interest in them other than just friends. All her guy friends think her husband is a jerk, can't understand why she stays with him, and they don't like him and complain he won't hang around them. Her husband isn't interested in them, but he also isn't worried about them taking his wife. He doesn't consider them a threat, and he's right. She's completely committed to him, and I have never heard of them having any serious problems. She's a tomboy and has masculine tendencies, but is absolutely completely feminine when compared to her husband. As with the other story, her husband runs the program. He's the one in charge. So if you haven't picked up on it, tomboy women are only going to be as successful with men who are greatly more masculine than they are, to the point where she appears completely and totally feminine when compared to him.